Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone, and a good afternoon to everyone present over here today. As you mentioned, my name is Ashfaq Zaman, and inshallah today I'll be taking you through a small journey, a journey of a dream, which was actually created out of some reality. And that reality is the very reason why we have LEAD over here today. So before I start, I'll give you a brief background of why we have LEAD, or what is the basic story or the reason on having LEAD over here today. So we all know about British Council. British Council is active in India, British Council is active in Bangladesh, in Malaysia, and in many parts of the world, including UK. British Council has been conducting a survey on the youth called the GED, Global Education Dialogue, for the past 5 years. And what they've found out that in the last 5 years is that 70%, and mark my words, 70% of the youth, they do not come out or explore their true potential within the youth population of the world today. So they've conducted in many countries this research, and they've found out 70% of the youth, they cannot really explore their true potential. And that is a huge number. And predominantly, the situation is actually even worse in developing countries and Asia countries such as Bangladesh and Malaysia. So we thought that something needs to be done in order to address this problem, and we came up with a solution, and that solution is called LEAD. We all know that in the life of the youth, there are three main important arenas, or three main important aspects. Number one is education. Number two is career. And number three is finding a beautiful person to get married. Now, the third point we cannot help, unfortunately, but inshallah, the other two we will definitely address through LEAD. We will challenge them, enthuse them, inspire them by giving them proper vision, skills, and knowledge to do so. So we have divided LEAD into 4 basic outcomes, or we call them modules. The first module is Mastering Effective Communication. Now, this is not an ordinary, normal, effective communication module. What we have done over here is we have researched and we have addressed the potential problems that British Council over the period of 5 years have identified from millions and millions of youths. So we have addressed the point and hit the solution in the right area. That's how we come up with each of the modules that we have. So for example, in Mastering Effective Communication, starting from making a CV, to appearing in an interview, to give a public speech, to make a presentation, everything is being covered. Same goes with our second module called Time Management and Team Development. The third module is called Thought and Visionary Leadership. This is one of the most important and integral part of our leadership program. It not only teaches them physical leadership, but also recodes their thinking process, psychological leadership, so that they can overcome fear and appear more confident. And last but not the least, we have entrepreneurship and innovation. As we all know that innovation is the latest in thing in the digital world today. So inshallah, entrepreneurship and innovation is also part of our module. What we have tried to do over here is we have tried to bring all the possible stakeholders in one single platform. So the way we did it is basically we have PEARSON with us, who is certifying and ensuring the quality process of the course. We have big corporations who are giving us the industry inputs, because without practical industry inputs, it's actually not possible to gain a proactive lesson. We have professors, world-leading professors who's helping us with academic content. We have world-class trainers with us. We have consultancy firm who's also giving us industry inputs to make the course more practical. And we have top universities and organizations to help us as well. What we have tried to do is we have trying to bring all the relevant stakeholders in one platform, creating synergies to make a course and unique of its own. What makes it different is that this is the first leadership organization to be certified by PEARSON. Now, PEARSON is the world's largest education group. It is based in UK. Also, one of the unique features of LEAD is it is one of the few leadership organization, which focuses on the youth, inspired by Prophetic Leadership. Now, what we do over here is that we train people about the modern day leadership concepts, and then we use Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as a case study of how he excelled all these beautiful things in the most beautiful manner 1400 years ago. Just to give you an example, when we are teaching communications, what better speech there can be than our Prophet's farewell speech, or what we call last khutbah? So what we do is we decode, and instead of showing Steve Jobs or any other person's speech, we decode and we analyze the speech of our great Prophet Muhammad and his hadiths and numerous of his sayings. So what we're trying to do over here, that instead of only mitigating the gaps of leadership problems, we are also trying to glorify and exemplify our Prophet Muhammad so that the youth of our society today not only be exemplary models in terms of their leadership tone, but also learn from the best possible mankind that walked in the face of the earth. That is our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How big is the market? The market is quite big actually. We have, because all the youths actually comes under it. We have from high school, O-level, A-level students to young corporates, and it numbers in millions and millions of students locally. And also something we are planning, an interesting plan, we want to make LEAD global by having the state-of-the-art technology to do distance learning qualification and to compete with the best of the world. That is with Harvard University and the MIT online delivering platform system. We want to compete with them and provide a state-of-the-art online system. For doing that, we need an investment of $500,000 to make a state-of-the-art online delivery platform. And this is something that, inshallah, we'll be looking forward for help from all the people over here. Who are the sailors, or who are the people anchoring this project? So we have with us my teammate Yahya Yamin, who's present over here. We have Professor Jaideep Prabhu, who is a professor of University of Cambridge, and he has been phenomenal in helping us in the marketing and innovation content of the course. We have Dr. Anisuzzaman Chaudhary, who is a director at the United Nations, and he's been helping us with his years of experience adding wisdom to the course that we have. Inshallah, if we can have all of these and right support, then there are a few visions and possibilities with LEAD. By 2017, we want to provide 5,000 participants with training. We want to produce a minimum of 100 new entrepreneurs who are inspired by the leadership course. We want to give leadership training support to top 15 companies. We want to make bridge between the 50 entrepreneurs and investors through the LEAD platform. And by 2021, we want to provide full free scholarship to 1,000 students in the top Ivy League universities in the world. You'll be happy to know that already we have got 3 confirmations from University of Cambridge, Oxford University, and MIT Design Lab has confirmed us that our top participants will be given 100% full scholarship if they can, get through their admission process or admission test. They will give preference to our students. This is the dream that we have, inshallah, and we need your support to make it practical. Thank you. If you have any questions, I'll be here for the next 5 minutes to entertain them.
Thank you very much, Ashfaq, for presenting. Do we have any questions for our very first presenter after lunch? I suppose a quick question for me would be, you aim to compete with all those platforms from MIT and Harvard. How will you differentiate yourself from those platforms?
Right. So the first thing is what I said when I meant compete is they don't have a youth leadership course at this moment. So we are not actually competing in terms of providing the course. What we are providing in terms of providing the delivery support. So they have Harvard University, they have an online support for continuing education. So I've researched it and I've seen how they're delivering it. Cambridge University, they also provide webinars and under the executive education. So we know the technology they use for distance learning. And what we want to do, we are actually launching a new technology with the Blackboard and PEARSON to actually compete with them and provide a better support, which will not only have the leadership modules, but will also have access to online mentorship as well.
Thank you, Ashfaq. Do we have any other questions? Yes. Can we get a microphone to the gentleman at the back?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm AJ Surin. I run an accelerator here in KL. I just want to find out about, your slide, which says or which states, about providing training to a minimum of 5,000 participants and producing a minimum of 100 new entrepreneurs, as well as giving leadership training support to 15 companies. How do you come up with those figures? And I'm obviously quite interested in whether this is actually a critical mass number, or are those numbers assumed from some primary data somewhere? Thank you.
So if you go to our website, you can Google this company called GED, Global Education Dialogue. And this, as I mentioned, has been conducted by British Council in all the places that they are active, including Malaysia, UK, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and so on and so on. And through this GED, they have actually done surveys and focus group discussion as well as stakeholder analysis of more than 3 million, what they call that they have touched 3 million lives, or they have actually consulted with 3 million people in order to come up with the statistics that they have. And majority of the statistics that they have are actually been adopted by LEAD. As I mentioned in my beginning of the presentation, that majority of the statistics that we have taken is actually from them. And also from our end, we have also conducted our sessions and surveys, and these are the figures that we believe are very reasonable and within our reach. If you go to this GED website, inshallah, you will be able to find majority of the statistics that we have presented over here.
We had another question from the gentleman in front. I believe someone in front had a question. No? Probably already answered. Do we have any other questions? No? On that note, if you would like to address Ashfaq directly, he'll be here off stage. Thank you very much, Ashfaq.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.